A ray of hope coming out of the Consultant Physician Staff Association's meeting with the Financial Secretary and members of the Public Hospitals Authority this afternoon. According to the Union Secretary, Dr. Sabrika Pindler-Butler, some progress was made with regard to negotiations.
At this particular point, we would have, looked at various things in our proposal that both sides, thought could have been worked at. Can't get specific into any details at this point, as I said, because we haven't yet discussed it with our membership. So once we've done that, and there have been the appropriate sign-off from the finance department, etc., and PHA, then we'll be able to say if the matter will be concluded appropriately or in a timely fashion.
As for whether or not the standoff will come to an end, Dr. Pindler-Butler said this.
At this particular point, we are planning to meet with our membership. Once we would have met with our membership and we have something in writing, which we have not yet secured, and those things are looked at, then we could speak further to that. But to date, we're not able to confirm that as yet.
Now, CPSA President Dr. Loxley Munro was not in attendance at the meeting this afternoon as he was traveling. However, Dr. Pindler-Butler says he's well aware of the outcome. Approximately 115 doctors withdrew their services on Tuesday of last week, causing the Public Hospitals Authority to activate its Emergency Operations Center. Well, Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands admitting to reporters that the CPSA's ongoing strike has caused some degree of inconvenience, but that the truth be told, many of the doctors are quietly going into the Princess Margaret Hospital taking care of patients.
We live in a democracy, and I think in a democracy, unions have the right to take strike votes, and this will play out. The PHA and the Ministry of Health continue to work in good faith to get this matter resolved.
Tensions between the CPSA and the PHA reached a boiling point last week, triggering the decision taken by senior physicians to withdraw their services. According to Dr. Sands on his end, and that includes the Prime Minister's office, the Ministries of Health and Labor, as well as the PHA, they're all working assiduously to get these matters resolved.
As you can imagine, with every single union clamoring for more benefits and resolution, a lot of these things having been outstanding for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. I think it is a testament to this administration that we do not victimize individuals, and so it opens up an opportunity for people to speak their mind. Sometimes I can get very loud, but as you attempt to resolve for one, you cannot only think about that one group in isolation. You have to think of it holistically.
Well, the numbers are in at least quite a few of them, and it appears that unofficially the Bahamas nurses unions have secured just what it needs to press ahead with a strike if necessary. BNU President Amantia Williams telling our news team after the polls closed that at the Princess Margaret Hospital, 217 nurses voted yes to taking such action and 1 no. At the Department of Public Health and over in Exuma, there were 106 and 6 yes votes respectively. Sandilands Rehabilitation Center returned 106 yes votes and 2 no's, while 122 nurses at the Ram Memorial Hospital in Grand Bahama voted yes, 2 no's, and there was 1 spoiled ballot. Nurses are decrying a new shift system that really is scheduled to take effect next week. Here's what Dr. Sands had to say about the BN's decision to conduct a strike poll.
We live in a democracy, and I think in a democracy, unions have the right to take strike votes, and this will play out. The PHA and the Ministry of Health continue to work in good faith to get this matter resolved.
Meantime, a roasting for the Prime Minister following his seemingly flippant response to the possibility of a national strike in the wake of a wave of labor unrest. An avid junkanooer, the Prime Minister at the time said he is more concerned right now about whether the Saxons will win the Christmas Junkanoo Parade. That, of course, fuels a serious backlash on social media, on talk shows, and around water coolers, and so much so that the PM's office issued a statement Tuesday stressing that the Prime Minister was at the time engaging the media in a moment of light humor that ended with a hearty chuckle. The Prime Minister at no time notes the release sought to make light of or diminish the seriousness of labor issues or the concerns of workers within the country. The release goes on to stress that the Prime Minister meant no disrespect to unions, labor, or workers, added that he has advised that he will consult with the Minister of Labor with a view to establishing an understanding and communication network moving forward. In news from Parliament, the government's hoping to get a consensus on a compendium of bills essentially aimed at ensuring the Bahamas is not again blacklisted, a decision that could very well result in an undermining of the country's competitiveness and growth development, causing serious damage to its reputation. Leading off the debate in the House of Assembly this morning was Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest, who says the idea is to send the message to the international community that the Bahamas is open for legitimate business.
The new provisions contained within these bills seek to preserve the Bahamas' position as a significant global financial services center and to enhance our value proposition as a premier jurisdiction of choice for the conduct of quality wealth management, asset management, and asset protection services in compliance with international regulatory standards.
The bills include the Commercial Entities Substance Requirements Bill, the Removal of Preferential Exemptions Bill, the Register of Beneficial Ownership Bill, the Penal Code Amendment Bill, and the Nonprofit Organizations Bill. The latter enhances the integrity and mitigates against abuse by such entities. It calls for all MPOs to be registered and provide details on its purpose and objective. As the DPM explained, it also imposes a strict requirement for MPOs to maintain detailed financial statements to demonstrate that its funds have been applied in a manner consistent with its objectives.
It is not the intent of the government to interfere or to monitor, other than for defined purposes, the activity of any organization, be they religious, civic, social. That is not the intent of this bill. The overriding objective of this bill is to provide for regulations to ensure that non-profit organizations are operating in a transparent manner and are not engaged in activities which constitute an identified risk as defined in the Proceeds of Crime Act, Chapter 92.
Meantime, the Penal Code Amendment Bill makes an offense to defraud the government of its revenue. Now, the minister has stressed the need for the bills to be passed by December 31st, as the EU will be putting pen to paper later this month to compile another blacklist to be published in January. The Bahamas is doing its best to avoid being named. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.